Hey Capricorn, how's it going? We're here with your reading, what you need to know for October. The first card that we have out is the Lovers. And the Four of Swords. Okay. We have Gemini, Libra, and Jupiter here. Jupiter right next to Libra. Okay. Having Lovers and having Four of Swords can be you taking a step back to really evaluate. When Justice is here, Four of Swords before Justice. Justice can be about something that you're going to enforce or reinforce, and the right way that you feel like you want to be going through this. Having Lovers and having Justice, it can definitely highlight our interpersonal relationships, our partnerships, situations with clients. It's basically like all of our one-on-one situations, relationships that we're in with others can be a focus on a particular one. Because this looks like somebody that you are linked to already, starting off with the Lovers. The Lovers card, although it can represent relationships and just what we love in general, it can also be a card indicative of choice. So what this means is that there can be a relationship choice or interpersonal choice that needs to be made. Having Four of Swords there feels like needing to make sure that you're in the right state of mind before you do something. Because we don't have Lovers and Justice, we have Lovers, Four of Swords, and Justice, which means that if your mind is not right, and then you make a decision or you make a call or you do something, you can do it and feel like that didn't come from a grounded and centered place. And so ensuring that you're in the right mindset and that you feel like your head is solidly on your shoulders, then you can figure out what you want to do from there. Having Wheel of Fortune, this can be a time where you feel like necessary change is ready. And it can also be a time too where there's going to be a shift or things are starting to happen that now it's time that these things happen. Wheel of Fortune can sort of be a chain of events that takes place because it's now time for the play button to be pushed. I even get the vibe of you, after making sure that you're grounded, sort of getting up and being ready to go. This can be making sure that you're grounded, making sure that you are rested or centered, whatever you would need to be doing to make sure that you're thinking clearly. That's what Four of Swords looks like in this reading so far. Because Justice can be a very big deal. It can be a big choice that you make, or it can be a big thing that you're going to be expressing. And if you're really going to be doing that, you want to make sure that you're in the place to be doing this in the first place. And so it feels like there is a preparation. If I'm going to be using my energy in this way, I need to make sure that that energy is there to be used. And that I'm wielding this from a centered place. This can be a change of a contract as well for some of you. Gemini, Libra, Sagittarius. There's a lot of, during the month of November as well, I think you guys are the first sign that I've said this for. For everybody else, it's only been October, and you are the 11th sign that I'm doing. For everybody else, it's only been the month of October. For you, I'm seeing it's October and November. There are changes that are happening that you have to adjust to. These look like big changes that are taking place and big events that are happening. is like this thing is popping up and now we're shifting over here, and you basically have to sort of stay on your feet as this is occurring. It can just feel like a lot is going on. This is definitely all part of the divine plan. It's going to take balancing. Otherwise, you're going to feel like you're getting thrown around. It reminds me of, I don't know if I'm just like making this up in my head or if I've really seen this on TV before. If you're in a room and you're in a cube, okay? And the cube starts like going this way and that way, like the whole floor and like the walls and everything, like it's being turned and moved. It's about having to sort of move with the gravity to make sure that you don't just fall over and then get like knocked against the walls and the ceiling and the floor. It feels like that. That's what life is going to feel like during October and November. Not in an ominous way, more in a everything is shifting into place, but in a way where the universe is like, okay, I just need to do this, and it can feel kind of condensed. Even though it's over 2 months, I'm seeing this feel like a lot of like tectonic shifting that's happening. So yeah, there's going to be this feeling of things being jumbled around, but if you're aware of that, like before play is pressed, which feels like right now, some of you got rumblings of this, things have already been shifting around for you. It's going to get more intense is what I'm seeing. It's nice that you know that this is happening though before it's happening, to tell you that this is going to be temporary. There is going to be a lot of shifting, and if you know that, you can know when something is like moving this way to put your weight in the opposite direction so it kind of balances things out so you're not getting knocked over. So it feels like what you need to do to make sure that you have the energy. I feel like this is more mental energy than anything, like acrobatics sort of that are going to be taking place. And so if you are not in a state where you're being vigilant and making sure, vigilant to take care of yourself and make sure that you're in the right state of mind, and when you're not, knowing that you need a break or you need to cut something off or you need to do what you need to do for yourself. Changes are going to be happening. It's stuff that's shifting into place. It is temporary. So if you're like, when is this going to end? I feel like everything keeps moving here and moving there, and then I thought this was going to stay like that, and now that's changing too. It's just part of the next 2 months. I'm seeing it just be a 2-month thing for you, but it will be felt because this is going to be big shift stuff, having Wheel of Fortune and Temperance here. And also Justice too. This is the energy being balanced back where it needs to go. And all of this, of course, is for your benefit as well. But there can be a part of you that is struggling a little bit with this. I'm not seeing you feel I'm seeing 4 of Cups on the bottom of the deck connected with Temperance, and this feels like having to work with yourself to sort of keep your head in the game here as this is going on, reminding yourself that it's temporary, you're making adjustments, and it also feels, I get that feeling of like something shifts and then you have to make sure that you shift compatibly with it, and then you can be like, okay, now it's not going to shift again, but then it changes again. I'm seeing something like that happen. So there can be a part of you that's like a feeling about that, of every time like things start to slow down or be still, then it changes again. That's what I'm getting the feeling be about. But ultimately, it's kind of like a Rubik's Cube that is being shifted into place. And it's going to take a few different turns to do that. And so even though you can be like, we just turned the left like 6 turns ago, it needs to do it to make the whole thing complete, essentially. That's what I'm seeing. That is the best way for me to describe what's going on here within the energy. And you're going to get to a point where you can forget that this is temporary, and there could be this feeling of, when is this going to stop happening? And you can even be like, I don't know how much longer I can carry the weight of this or balance within this. Just remind yourself, or come back to this reading if you feel like you're starting to struggle. You're going to be taking a close look at your relationships. This can be one relationship, but I do see this as being multiple relationships that you are focusing on. Unless you just have one main relationship, and then it can just be that. It's not about the quantity of relationships you have, it's the theme that's going on, where when we have Lovers and we have Judgment, there's something about our relationships that we are looking into to make sure that we're seeing what we need to be seeing. To make sure that we're tuning in, to make sure that we're connecting with how we feel and taking time out to reflect and connect, especially emotionally. I'm seeing that be a big one. Emotionally, intuitively, what's going on in your internal landscape, and then what moves are you making based off of that? I'm seeing too that when you get quiet enough, when you get still enough to tune in, I almost get this surprised feeling that the guidance is right there, that the information is right there. It's like, it doesn't take, you don't have to really reach for it. I'm seeing it be just below the surface. But if there's a lot of noise around you, it feels like it stays below surface. And as soon as you sort of put your face in the water, I'm seeing it be right there. And then you know what to do, where to go, how to move. There can be analysis about your feelings, intuitive messages that you receive. Something that I'm seeing that can be coming up, you're in the cube and the cube is moving, or it will be depending on when you watch this reading. You're in the cube and the cube is moving. When the cube starts moving, there will be a part of your energy that you will feel that wants to stay in the same place, and you don't want to adapt to the movements that are happening. Because you may be like, I don't want this to be happening in the first place. Like, why do I have to be in this cube right now and this thing is moving around? I'm seeing there be a bit of resistance. For each of you, it can really depend on your attitude here, but I'm getting this, like, the cube is going to be moving and the cube is very big and you are very small in relation to the cube. And so if you do not balance the energy, if you don't accommodate, if you do not adapt, if you do not shift your weight, what's going to happen is that it's not going to stop the cube from shifting. You are going to fall on the ground and then you're going to be bounced all around within there. And the same things are still going to happen anyway, but you will not feel like you're in great shape. I'm definitely getting a resistance when the change is happening. It's like that part of you that feels inconvenienced by this. And the part of you too that wants to sort of have control. It's like, as stubborn as you want to be, and as much as you try to put your weight into your feet, as this thing is turning upside down, the gravity is going to knock you down. So it's going to happen. And so this is a message to be adaptable with the energy, because that's what's going to be happening with it. That's just the shift that's taking place right now for you over the next 2 months. And so you can sort of see it as like a game. Like, I don't really have a choice right now. I'm in the cube, so I have to figure out how to be in here, and let me see how long I can go without not getting knocked down. Like, let me see how good I can get at shifting my weight. So you're really good at knowing how to adjust to the cube shifting. And then you can feel a sense of accomplishment within that. Like, wow, look at how flexible I'm being. Look at how adaptable I'm being here. Look at how, rather than feeling like life is beating me up, there's more of a riding the wave and moving with the flow and learning how to align with the way. That's when you're going to see, you will see that you are most powerful when you are aligning with the flow of things. And when you're trying to fight against it, it's when you can feel powerless, and that can feel it can be a difficult thing to experience, but that doesn't have to be your experience. By the end of 2 months, it feels like nearing the end of November, you're going to be completing the cycle. It will feel like the wait is over. It will feel like things have been accomplished, and it will also feel like things settle then. And it will feel too like, if you really do ride the waves of this and you really do learn how to be in that cube and balance the energy, it's only just about balancing yourself. It's not even doing anything with the cube. It's like managing yourself and your being while you are in the cube. And then we end with the 10 of Pentacles. So you will feel like that thing that you've been wanting, you end up getting exactly that. 10 of Pentacles is like, you feel secure, you feel happy, things calm down, like everything happened just like it was supposed to. And then you're like, it's like I'm seeing the end of a movie, like a feel-good movie, when like everything is right in the world. That's what I'm seeing you're gonna feel like. Give it 2 months. That's how you're gonna end up feeling with 10 of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. You'll feel safe, you will feel secure, things will feel still, everything is going to feel like it's supposed to be. There's going to be that sense of just a right order to things. But before then, I'm seeing that. I think the only sign that I have left to do is Pisces, but for this reading, you're the ones that I'm seeing going through actually the biggest shifts. And it feels like it's like a somewhat constant. Like it's going to be shifting, and then right as things start to feel like they're settling, things are going to shift again, and it will keep feeling like that for the next 2 months. But once that, at the end of the month, at the end of 2 months, when that last shift happens, the cube ride will be complete and everything will be in right order, and you will really, really feel that. And it will be the feeling that you were looking to feel too. So it will feel like things are how they're supposed to be at the end of this, and that will be the overall feeling. I think come like mid/end November, I'm getting with the energy for you guys. Your relationships can feel like they test you and challenge you too. That can be also another theme that comes up. In order for you to make sure that you're seeing things clearly, if you're not taking time to ground, if you're not taking time to recharge, and you're just trying to do things, you can feel like it does not go well. So making sure that when you're trying to look into things, that your faculties are sort of where they need to be in order to properly assess, and rest is also part of this too. So you can feel like you're able to embrace what's going on. And with the changes happening, because there is a Wheel of Fortune and also the World, it can feel like there's this thing happening where when you have the world here, when you have Saturn, it can feel like things being minimized. Like it's very minimalist energy. And then with Jupiter, it can feel like the opposite of that. And so you can feel this closing in, and then this expanding, and then this closing in, and then this expanding. And then when you have Pluto there too, it's like no stone left unturned. But it can feel at times like the energy is doing opposite things, and that's like this whole cube shifting thing that's going to be occurring. But if you are a willing sport within this, it doesn't have to be a bad ride here. And when you feel yourself getting like tense, it can be a time to remind yourself to sort of shake loose a little bit, and it can be helpful. Because if you're told that everything is going to be great by the end of this, I think it can inspire some hope and some faith when you're going through the parts that feel more difficult. You're also going to feel that there's an increase in things intuitively for you and your understanding of how things work as well. This feels like a time where there's going to be a lot of guidance that you receive that is very beneficial to you, and that it's not difficult to access. It's very nearby. And so as soon as you get still, as soon as you get centered, it's like right there for you to access. So it won't be a time where you're really struggling to connect. It will be a time where it's very, very easy. The access is right there. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I am sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.